this out and said, this is a one-of-a-kind piece that was just donated by a very fancy family to the beautiful gem gallery, I would have said, it's amazing.
Thank you, Jane.
But it's Barbara, and obviously I'm not the only one because one size is already gone. It's an investment, but it is worth every penny, and this is the piece that will become that legendary piece in the family. Like someone 100 years from now will be wearing this piece of jewelry, right?
I hope so. I can't imagine why not, and I think it's one of the most beautiful things we've ever seen.
Oh, it's amazing. It is. I'm just
you.
over the moon. So here's what happened. We had 3 sizes. One is already gone. It's our one-time only value. Barbara had the today's special value, and at midnight, I've never seen nor experienced anything quite like what happened to us. I wasn't here. I was home like you guys. It was just a phenomenon. It was a force of nature. So we've been able to have one-time only values throughout the rest of the day. Like a value of the day, the price goes up at the end of the day.
Yes.
This will not this year be lower than the price. It is obviously a pricey piece of jewelry, but worth every penny from the quality of the gems and the amount of gems and the construction of this. I've never seen anything like it before piece of jewelry. One size is already gone. So the 6 3/4 is sold out. We may be able to take a limited wait list. We have a 7 1/4 inch bracelet at 24 carats of citrine and rhodolite garnet, and then 27.80 carats in the 8 inch. Again, not many to go. I wrote the word whoa. And that's how geeky I am, because I was just like, what can I say? Barbara, take it away.
Once this started to come to life and it was working the way that I thought it would work, I just realized that it could not cheap out on the stones at all. You know, the baguettes had to be gorgeous. I don't know if you even know this, Jane, but in the 80s I had my first line that I brought to the public under my name. And it was all 18 karat gold and all precious gemstones, and I would say 80% baguettes. And I love working with baguettes in different ways, not your typical, you know, set in a line or just with movement, you know, of some kind. And I thought how interesting it would be to set them this way between the leather. Being a big Beatles fan, it's called the Come Together bracelet.
I love
Black
that.
symbolizes journeying, so it's kind of the idea of going through life with your husband, your child, your friend, or somebody else. And then citrine is a stone of optimism and joy, and garnet for love. So, you know, the things that you would want to bring on your journey. So I just love it, and it feels good. And
It does.
It's really hip, but it's, you know, it could be sort of conservative. I think this is, you know, you make this your own.
You know, why would a host even want to do this and turn it around to the backside of the bracelet so I'm hiding the gems? This is why. This is the Barbara Bixby difference. This, you know, so many times everything is just sort of done the easy way.
Right.
And I think especially now, it's easy to Google something than to really, you know, like Steve Harvey once said when we were at an event with him, he said you had to get on your bike, you had to go to the library, you had to go to the Dewey Decimal System, you had to look it up.
100%.
And then you went and got to the stacks, and the book was checked out. You had to come back 2 weeks later to find that book.
We had to work for it.
We had to work
That's
for our
true.
stuff. Okay, so 7 1/4 inch just sold out. If you want the 8 inch, we have 2 dozen
You'll
remaining.
love this, and it has that great circle closure. Not that it really needs embellishment,
Right,
but
but look what Barbara did. Wait, look at that.
I even put one of the enhancers that's coming up for the day on there.
I mean, you could. That's just what makes you you.
But it really doesn't need anything.
I was even thinking if you had one of your bracelets, you might even be able to do it as a choker.
Sure,
you know?
absolutely.
I mean, I don't know how it's going to sit on you, but if you
I've done my skull bracelet, you know, the crystal skulls?
Yes.
I do that as a necklace. Many of the bracelets, absolutely, with these circles, you can change things around.
It's so funny because, you know, I work with the ladies in your buying office who basically probably, some of them weren't born, I think, when I got my job here at QVC, but that's okay. And, you know, I looked at them and I said, you probably think I'm the last person to have one of Barbara's skull rings. I do have one of your skull rings.
That.
I love them. But I mean, there is just something about this that transcends anything that I've ever seen from anyone. It is just so, and it feels fabulous.
Doesn't it feel great?
We are not allowed to keep the jewelry, by the way. They're going to have to be ripping this off my wrist before I go. They're going to be chasing me down. And what happened is we sold out of the 6 3/4. We sold out of the 7 inch. The 8-inch, which is on 6 easy payments, but only until the end of the day, of $172.33 is down to 1 dozen. Look at those juicy garnets.
This could easily have gone into my couture collection exactly as it is. You know, no changes, nothing. It's really a fine piece of jewelry. I think you'll really enjoy this.
And I think that my sister was telling me that Amy Strand was saying this the other night, and it was something our mom taught us, that it's easy to go and spend this much here and this much there, never really getting what you want.
Right.
My mother was a nutritionist, and she used to say, if you really want that chocolate cake, just have a little piece, because you'll probably have this and that, and eat more calories than if you just go ahead and have what you want at that point in moderation and go for it.
This is a great example for this piece. I think you will not regret having bought this and then really enjoying it rather than a few little things.
And in a weird way, not having to go back and buy anything else for your wrist for a really long time to come, if ever. 6 left in the 8-inch.